Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Ondo. We're going to do a full update, necessary as well. We hit a significant support level, which we also spoke about in my last video. My apologies, a little bit of an itchy nose. But yeah, so we hit that level. Needed to get a strong reaction from that. We got a mild reaction. It's not bad, but we do need to get some more for Ondo. So let me quickly clean up the charts a little bit here. Just remember, we have a yearly rolling VWAP at 1.1. 1.1, just the start of this video, is by far the most important resistance level. That is the main resistance level. Like if we want to see a rallying Ondo again, that's the main level we need to break above, all right? And a rallying Ondo seems very far away right now. But we'll talk about that later. But just remember that, and now the chart looks a little bit more clean. So we'll start off by zooming out here, and then we're going to do a full analysis basically on everything you need to know, right? I know a lot of you are interested in Ondo, including myself. I mean, Ondo is potentially one of my favorite projects in the entire space. Definitely one of my favorite RWA projects. It's still growing right now. The TVL has grown another couple tens of millions of dollars, up to $1.22 billion right now, which doesn't place it in the top 10, I think, but it places it quite high, right? Can I find it right here? No, I can't. No, I can't. But okay, it's doing great, right? But the TVL is kind of spread out, I think. So fundamentally it's doing great, but technically it's been a little bit lackluster, right? I mean, we haven't really seen the RWA a narrative pop off that much in the last month when markets were quite strong. The volume for Ondo hasn't been amazing either, like we saw before, for example. Although I must say the volume is higher than November, so there's definitely growth, but the price is also a bit higher. And we spent most of the volume trying to break above 1.1, and we failed to do that. And then outside of that, another relevant level, of course, is $1. And what you can see right now is that we have the 200 EMA also lined up with that. And even though we initially broke above that, and we also found some support from that, ultimately we dropped back down below that. And that was all a possibility, right? I mean, last video for Ondo, we spoke about that. We spoke about, it actually looks quite likely. I think back then we had already, it was like Thursday, Friday last week, we had already dropped down below $1. So what I said is that, it's quite likely we have a bit of an imbalance right here, which you can see on the screen as well, that fair value gap. And we have a POC. It's quite likely we're going to drop down into that. And that's also not bad, right? If you drop back down, you retrace into a previous POC, into a naked point of control. POC is a point of control. You can actually get a strong reaction from that. However, now we have to say, was this a strong enough reaction or not? And did we actually touch the POC? Because technically you could say that the POC is at 87 cents and we reached 88.5 cents. So I'm still willing to give Ondo the benefit of the doubt and say that we still have a possibility here to rally back above $1, to stay between 1.1 and $1, get into a consolidation there. And then potentially break out, but that remains to be seen, right? We probably need some more momentum from that. So that is certainly still a possibility, but I need to see a strong reaction, right? At this point of time, there just isn't a lot of momentum. I would say it's most likely Ondo is going to drop down into 87 cents. And then from there, I need to at least see a move back above 92 and 93 cents. If we're able to do that, then I think we can also rally a little bit higher above $1 and consolidate there. But if we're not able to find a strong reaction from the POC, so let's say we drop down into the POC and we just find resistance at 92 cents, then we're just back into this range we were in before, right? And if we're back into that range, it also becomes very likely that we drop down to the bottom of the range at 80 cents, right? So that is by far the most important level to watch. I would say, Bitcoin, the markets in general are still bullish. So that's why I'm slightly leaning towards this, maybe a version like this, that we spike down a bit lower so that others, the altcoin index also finds support. But ultimately, I would still say this is most likely, but that is mostly based on my thoughts on the markets and not on Ondo specifically, unfortunately. But keep your eyes on that level. I will do that too. I'll keep you updated on that. But for now, have a great Tuesday. Take care and bye.